Hopefully everyone will get the notification and go live. Come on. It's a little better. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. A little bit of a delay there. I apologize for going live and then having to deal with some stuff. I figured it was better to end that previous stream and then start a new one, because then you guys get a notification that I'm actually here and running. Hello there, Brandon. Jesus Christ. I was like in my lane. Anyway, I'm going to Venice, and my dad's coming into town tonight. Hopefully I'll get a couple of vlogs with him. He's not really like a video person, but my sister is, and so we'll all be together. It'll be the full family thing. You like those bananas, don't you? Southern Banana King. You know, I watched a really cool video of Gordon Ramsay catching catfish in Oklahoma. It was pretty cool. You should watch it, Zach. God, my car. So this morning I went to one of those places that like professionally cleans your car. My seats have like sweat stains on it, because you know when I'm working and it's 90 and I get in, but it wasn't even my seat. It was like the back seat, and the passenger seat was the worst. And they ended up like detailing a lot more than I paid for, and I'm not complaining, but it was pretty cool. So my dad's flying from Albany, New York to Tampa. My sister's picking him up at 9:50ish, so he'll be in town around 11:30. Well, he's like, oh, come on, give me this light, this one time. One time. Of course not. Of course I get screwed. Yeah, for some reason there's really weird. Whoa, did you see this? This guy on the left hand. Oh man, the guy who's sitting right where that Suburban is just pulled into the straight line. That's weird. No wonder no one's talking, because maybe I can check filters right now because I got a little bit of time. Let's see here. No, I don't need to do that. There you go. Get rid of that. Okay. What's going on, Chris? Got a lot of work done this week. I am headed to Venice, and I'm meeting with my dad tonight. He's coming in from Tampa, flying in from Tampa, and he'll be in Venice around midnight. My sister and I were kind of having an argument over who was going to get him, and I didn't want to drive from Cape Coral to Tampa International and back. I'm already kind of tired and been driving around most of the week. And yeah, so that's Ken's nursery in Redland, which is just between just north of Homestead. So he's got a lot of specimen plants. And yeah, that isn't too far away. My dad actually needed a ride, and I was gonna pay for an Uber for him because he doesn't understand that he needs to fly into Sarasota. Yeah, I did used to go to Anderson's. Yeah, like 10 years ago. We almost went there for lunch, but we decided to go to. Yeah, Ken's nursery is pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff hanging around. I didn't get into like the stuff that's been like a lot of that stuff like comes and goes. Like the plant, he does his garden is kind of fluid in that what his garden is basically what he's growing to sell as his next crop. Yeah, he could. I kind of picked him up there and drove him up, but the flights out of the problem is that he does the only airports he lives near are Burlington, Vermont, and Albany, and Manchester, New Hampshire. I mean, he has to drive to Boston to get to a major airport, and it's like a 3.5 hour drive. So Tampa's pretty. It seems like Albany and Tampa is usually a nonstop flight. But there are flights to Sarasota, but they're more. But the thing is, I end up paying it, so or my sister does by going and getting it. It's like 3+ hours of driving. There's 135 miles from here to Tampa. It's more like 140 to the airport. So. Oh, you did? Nice. Yeah, just, after a while, like, I've just kind of gotten tired of, like, driving long distances, and I'm just not a fan. Yeah, flew during a normal time of day. Oh, crap, my sister. Hold on. Let's see, reply to her real quick. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. The stream might pause once in a while because I have my sister messaging me. So I apologize. My mom might call in. My dad might even call in because I don't know if this flight's non-stop or not. There's one flight that's not that he's taking, so I'm gonna have to play it by ear. Thanks for that turn signal, sir. So if it pauses, I apologize. It won't be for more than a few minutes. Oh my God. This is why we need 4 lanes. It's out of control. I would go around him, but one, I just had my car detailed, and 2, there's a detour sign. Here we go. Some. Yeah, the problem is that my sister had to know she's picking him up, and for some reason my sister and my dad just won't message each other. Like I have to do it as a third party. It's really annoying, honestly. Yeah, no, that's good, Chris. Back in the day, it was, you know, there weren't as many choices. Like and even for Jeff, he didn't have a lot of the Bradiokentia species. Like if you had Bradiokentia dumasii and grandiflora had just come out, now he has them in 1 gallons and they're pretty plentiful. But it was hard to get some of the stuff. Um, have you ever mentioned? Have you ever mentioned my name to Jeff by chance? I'm just curious. I don't know if he probably would speak well of me, but maybe not. I don't take offense to it because I don't know. I just don't get offended. You got 10 4-inchers. Wow. And grandiflora does pretty well here. Hapala and grandiflora seem to do the best. Dumasii does well. Viardii and what's the other? Yeah, Viardii does not do very well here. I think it's from a higher elevation. Yeah, he probably, Jeff grows much cooler stuff than I do because of his climate and his access and his experience. So I'm not going to try and compare myself with Jeff, but he is a really cool guy. I've done, business with him for about 15 years. So yeah, I think it's $100 minimum. Oh no, there's a lot worse problems you could have. I'm sure the Australians are sleeping in today, or they're just. Man, these guys are like speed limit's 50 and I'm doing 60, and is this guy really gonna try and cut in on me right here? Okay, good. It's not. Oh, you get the right thing. Gonna see my mom, my family. I haven't seen my. Yeah, I used to spend a ton of money on plants. I probably spent about 10 grand with Jeff. The thing is, I would spend more, but I like to grow from seed. So the only thing I would buy from Jeff is stuff that I couldn't find seed of because either. That sounds cool. Now you can eventually do that full time. Because in my opinion, St. Pete doesn't have enough. Like uncommon plant nurseries. I really wish that one of my nurseries would have worked out because I really enjoyed it. But Jesus Christ. Go from 60 to nothing. Yeah. Sometimes it's sad to think, if I had just kept with it, one fluid motion, not a nursery, leave for Fairchild, a nursery, get a landlord, screws me over, a nursery, landlord screws me over. I have a low tolerance for you guys probably, those of you who are from Florida know that, there's a certain, and this doesn't really happen in Miami or Tampa or major cities, but some of the smaller, but there's this issue that I've noticed since I've moved here where people are just kind of shady. I don't know how else to explain it. And you have to kind of accept it or deal with it in a certain manner. There's just certain things that I just won't accept. Yeah, I know. If I had, like I said, if I had kept with that, oh, that truck is stuck in the sand. Yeah, no, I agree. I worked at a pawn shop for, part time, and I also did nursery just because it was fun. I didn't really get paid a whole lot. I mean, I guess it was decent, but uh, yeah, I'm ready, Paul. I'm ready for the toughest of all palm questions. I think about it, and I almost feel like sometimes I messed up, but I've actually covered that a couple times. It's no big deal. I've on live, but I haven't like discussed it on a vlog, and I should. But in my opinion, the toughest palm against hurricanes is going to be. I've seen a couple palms come through with like no damage in Hurricane Charlie, which is 145 miles an hour. So let's just assume with the gusts, it hit 145. I've seen sable palmettos take very little damage, maybe some broken fronds, but I never saw any die from it. I've seen royals defoliate, but they do that on purpose so that they have no wind resistance. And then I've seen, there's a Dictyosperma album, the hurricane palm. It's named for obvious reasons, just unfazed. There were hurricanes from Hurricane Andrew that didn't go down. They didn't even lose much of their leaves. They just took it like a beast. And then Satakentia. So out of all those palms, I'd probably say that. Oh, it's hard to say. I think that eventually, like as the winds get higher, I think that palmettos, the crown would blow out because the crown is more open and because of the fan leaflets. So I have to go with Satakentia or Dictyosperma. Yeah, Mike Evans has a special zoning that allows him to do that. I can't do it in the Cape. No problem, Paul. I mean, I can still do seeds and seedlings and stuff like that of like rare stuff, but I've been trying to focus on consultation, writing, maybe getting back in the nursery, maybe doing some stuff on Pine Island. About it almost a year ago now is when I stopped doing my work full time on Pine Island. Sorry, not Pine Island. In Miami. Okay, good night, Paul. Nice talking with you. And I went back there last week. Oh yeah, no, I'm not ag zoned. There's no ag zoning in Cape Coral for a very small portion. I had to go to Pine Island to do that. Washingtonians actually do pretty well, but around 100 miles an hour they'll start to snap, especially the real tall ones. Palms that don't do very well in hurricanes are ones like, I gotta get ahead of this guy, like fishtails. What is going on? There's like this neon. Do you guys see that? It's kind of creepy. Yeah, this guy's trying to like get up on me now. What is this guy doing? Hold on a second. Yeah, so I just got, when I got back from Miami, it was a rough time because I see things when you're working with someone who has so much money that they have people working for them, that work for them, that ask you to come work for them. There's like a 4-tier pyramid thing. a lot of times like what you're doing is not like very well communicated up to the top, and it can be hard. I've had I've had 3 or 4 of those kind of types of clients that are worth anywhere from like 100 million to $1 billion, or even more than that, and it makes it difficult. But the consulting is good. It's nice. I feel like it's like a next step from the nursery, but I still kind of not sure where to go. I can still go the route of poker and still do palms as a hobby. One of my big clients is was a cardiologist and also an oil kind of magnet of sorts. He told me that I should be doing something else other than plants. I don't know if I should have become a lawyer or something, but I don't know if I'd enjoy that line of work. A lot of hours. I mean, I enjoy talking about like the law and that sort of thing, but here we go. So is there anything you guys want to see tonight? Want to talk about tonight? I remember when I first started doing the vlog, we only talked about palms, but yeah, you're right. The problem is that right now the money isn't, I've really got to make a decision if I want to start another nursery. I've had 3 bad experiences, and I'm sure that like I'm partially to blame. Like I just, part of me just doesn't refuses to kind of like allow people to like take advantage of me. So I have expressed myself in a way that maybe other people wouldn't. This road is so sketchy because we're going under the speed limit and I want to pass, but looks like we're free to pass here. Yeah, I don't see myself going back to a 9 to 5 though. I might try. I consider stuff like starting a plant nursery like outside of Florida, or going back to poker, like I said, doing just consulting, which can be kind of hard because it's hard to differentiate yourself from like a landscaper that is there to do like your average house. And I have references, but it's really like when you get into like the more uncommon stuff, it's more word of mouth. Advertising really doesn't. I'll post stuff on Instagram, but I don't like pay any money for advertising. I'm not a there's been a lot of times where I've questioned what I've done over the past 15 years, like leaving college and doing this, and sometimes I've really like questioned, but I never. Last time I thought about getting a 9 to 5, I'll tell you guys a funny story. So there's this nursery in South Venice. It's called MRT, and I actually bought my first big plant from there. I bought a Bismarckia back in 2004, or my mom did, I should say, for the yard. And so in 2014, I saw this. I was out of college, and I was like, I need to get some sort of job that allows me to have some money, and then I can do whatever else on the side, like poker. So I was playing poker and doing poker stuff in 2014, and I applied for this job as a landscape designer, and I showed them what I could do and what kind of plant knowledge I had. And after about 2 weeks of going back and forth and driving around doing designs, he tried to put me on like the sales floor. And I found myself sitting on a forklift 10 feet up in the air, pruning queen palms with a hand pruner with an extension. And I was like, what am I doing here? This is not even paying any better than what I'm doing with poker. I thought I could, I thought I could do the 9 to 5, but it's just not. It's just not for me. Maybe I was meant to do some. I was meant to do something independently. I've always been kind of entrepreneurial. Even before I went to Florida, I left college and I started like I mean, I was in a bad place then, but I was like buying old Mercedes and partying them out and actually making good money, selling it on eBay. I remember I shipped a bumper off of an old Mercedes on eBay. That thing weighed like, they were laughing at the post office because I tried to like put it in a box and it just wasn't gonna fit. But I made a box for it. This is back when eBay was like, you could still send money orders. I've actually had a lot of people, not a lot, but I mean, several people come to me and tell me, hey, I do this, and I want to stop doing this and get it, and this is like my therapy, and it reminds me of, when I did it, and I see like I see like a me from 15 years ago. And I feel like now I feel kind of old saying that because 15 years ago I was 22, but it's kind of the truth. Oh, I thought that was our green light. Oh, it's down to 73 here. I haven't seen my mom in like, geez, 12 days. It's been a while. The last time you guys saw her. But I got some really cool seeds, and I don't know if how many of you guys follow my business page, but I actually sold out of a lot of them. But that I have that entire leafed African oil palm. I'm excited to germinate those. Here we go. I need Dictyosperma. It's weird because it's actually a pretty cheap plant, but sometimes you just can't find it anywhere. I don't know if Mike Evans has it or not, but he should. Doesn't know if it's seeding. Oh, you want seed of Dictyosperma? Is that what you were saying? Yeah, give me a text, man. I've got like 1,000 seed, and I can, I'd rather see the seeds sold at a lower price than what I'm offering, so I can offer you a deal on that if you want. I'm not going to grow it because I just don't have the room to grow that kind of quantity of that kind of plant. So we're talking like I probably have another. I mean, if I get anywhere between like 800 to 1,000 seed. Definitely message me. I'll be around this evening. I'm just waiting for my dad to get, in. Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Always appreciate the. Sorry, I've been I just had it a little bit on my mind, and I didn't want it to affect the vlog, but Were any of you on? My family should know by now that when I drive from Cape Coral to Venice, I live stream and I talk about plants. So I don't want this to be a complaint vlog. I just had a number of things happen this week that kind of were not, were subpar, and I don't want it to I'm not gonna throw it onto you guys. So, but and there's still bugs. Like they scrubbed down my windshield, and you can still see. They spent like a good 20 or 30 minutes scrubbing this thing down. Definitely got my money's worth. It feels like a new car, except for the dent that was put in the side by some guy in a parking lot. But oh well. So let me ask you guys a question. What do you guys think is the smallest seeded palm in the world? Anyone see if anyone knows that? All I'm going off is the smallest seed that I've ever come across. It's difficult to pick up with just two fingers. At least with my fingers. It's hard to work with. It's not fibrous, so it doesn't there's no friction, and so it slips out of your hand very easily. I can't really explain. Let me know if I can, I'm here to entertain you guys. If there's anything I can tell you story-wise, something like a negative plant story or something to that effect. Or a positive plant story. A funny plant story. Weird. Got a little bit of each. Here we go. Dips is... Chris, what are you referring to? You asking me if I have Dips' seed? In the not too distant future, I'm going to have Adelaide Cahoon seed and Leucothrinax mercii. Oh no, there are some pretty small Dipsis seed, but no, it's not a Dipsis. It's from the New World. And it's something that you wouldn't probably notice unless you've actually kind of grown it, because even if you bought a small plant, usually you can't tell the seeds attached. Actually, that's not really helping out a whole lot. It's from Cuba. Might hit up Tropical Smoothie. My mom, she already ate dinner. I don't know if she's going to be wanting a smoothie. Yeah, it's actually Hemiphrinax. I'll try and get a picture of one. I got 1,000 seed once. I have this tiny little packet in an envelope from it was originally from Cuba, and I was like, "There's not 1,000 seed in here," and sure enough, there was 1,000 just hanging out in an envelope, weighed like 2 ounces. Generally speaking, palms that grow in more, the climates that have more harsh conditions will have bigger seeds because they have to withstand some conditions and need the energy to kind of fight it. And then more tropical plants will have smaller seed, but there's obviously some exceptions. Hemithrynax is one of them. But like for example, it does grow in a tropical climate. Oh my God, one viewer. Oh yeah, you do. I remember you did buy one from me. I originally bought from Jeff Searle. Oh man, I got it charged. Okay. That was Alan, my sister's boyfriend, and trying to coordinate my dad's pickup. Interesting. You guys can't really see, but there's a Honda Accord Cross Tour. You don't see those very often. They didn't sell a whole lot of these things of the U.S. Oh my God. Why is it like this? Why do they do this to me? I'll let you guys ask questions and do it from there. I'm back. Phone call. So if you guys see it pause, it's likely that I had to take a phone call. Usually I'll try and tell you guys when I'm getting it. Five from looks like Ohio. Person next to me is from Tennessee, Zach. If you're watching, I'm trying to. It looks like McMinn County, McMinn County, Tennessee. But I'm actually going to my sister's from Cape Coral. I left Miami back on Tuesday. Yeah, geez. Thanks to the couple of people who were watching during that little stretch on 27, I was like, just so beat. No, it really wasn't the work. It was the fact that I got no sleep, like 6 hours in 2 days, and it was hot. And then it got cold when I came back, and oh, the season traffic just sucks. Yeah, I've seen, the one bigger specimen I bought of Cyprosperma balancea was actually in Fort Lauderdale, and it was growing great. So I don't think it's a South thing. Come on, dude, don't just cut in front of me like this. So I don't think it's really a Southern thing. I think it's more of just giving it the right climate, giving a little bit of shade. They seem to like sun when they're older. Like a lot of New Caledonian palms, like, they'll take it. Like I've seen some beautiful Chamberonis in full sun, even in Venice, mature. I mean, they've been in the ground for 10 years. And then I've seen some in shade that look great too. But then I've seen they're just so odd. One of our viewers here lives in New Caledonia, and he tells me stories of, the plants are all there and they're beautiful, but they don't put out any seed. They put out flowers, but it's like nothing is. They're just very different different palms. Chick-fil-A is always an option. Oh my God. Get me out of this town. Yeah, Eric is probably growing it at Lou Gardens. Actually, I'm almost positive he is. I've seen pictures of it. I've tried germinating stuff. This guy's been trying to get in for a while now. I just want to. Yeah, Eric is a really cool guy. He's been in the Palm since he was a kid, and probably been since the mid '80s. And he's super humble, super nice. He's seen just about everything, and he knows if anyone knows what grows in Central Florida, long term, short term, mid term, it's definitely him. Orlando's kind of the epitome of Central Florida growing. I think I need a soda, like a non-seltzer soda. Half these plates are not even from here. Pennsylvania was behind Ohio, next to Tennessee. One more month. I don't know if it's spring. Is it spring break for any? It's probably for some colleges, I bet. I remember the first time I drove down to Florida myself, spring break 2002. Well, I say without my family. Drove from New London, Connecticut, which is Eastern Connecticut, for my college, with two of my friends taking turns driving. Straight through. I drove until morning, which would have been like, left at 10, so like 6, 7 in the morning. Maybe left earlier than that. I remember getting to south of the border at like 9 o'clock in the morning. And we would not have gotten to south of the border that fast. Maybe we would have. I remember like trying to take a shower in the south of the border bathrooms. That was kind of nasty, like washing yourself down in the sink. Yeah, that's perfect with New Caledonian stuff. I know a guy. There's a guy who watches the vlog. He got some New Caledonian plants, and he lives in a colder climate. I think he's struggling a little bit with the temperatures, but. Honestly, if my mom and sister weren't here in Florida, I would probably not be around half the year. I love it, and I hate it at the same time. still have 3 or 4 more vlogs from Miami I have to put up. I try and put one up every day, kind of keep the people knowing that I have not. There was a while where I didn't put up like a plant vlog for probably 2 months. Honestly, I wouldn't mind being in like North Florida, like north of I-4 in the lakes area. Either that there. I mean, that's still Florida, obviously, but if it wasn't in Florida, like probably like somewhere in like coastal South Carolina. The problem is like I'd have to like try and start a nursery there, which I could do, but I mean, probably would be to my benefit. I know a lot of people that I could connect with to grow. All 3 lanes wide open, yet none of us are doing the speed limit. I can correct that. Yeah, some of the best towns, like I'll tell you this. I'll give you a list of my favorite towns in Florida. This would be in no particular order. So in the South Florida, towns like all the towns on Pine Island, probably, although they're kind of lacking like any sort of like center. That country feeling is nice. Also, Everglades City is pretty cool, but it's pretty far from like a lot of things, including stuff like hospital and normal. It's really like a very like much of an enclave. I think Punta Gorda is pretty decent. Then there are some towns in Highlands County like Avon Park and Sebring are pretty cool, but then it gets really hot and there is some kind of shadiness about it that I'm not a fan of. Let's just see if we can just run this gauntlet all the way through here. Pass all these people. That's not going to work. I'm going to have to cut in here at the last minute. So also, but like the ones that I really think are cool, the land is pretty nice. I think I like towns like Micanopy and Williston up there near Crystal River, a little north of it. I mean, Crystal River is pretty cool too, but again, a lot of tour. If there wasn't tourism in Crystal River, I probably would live up there. Sugar Mill Woods, outside of Ocala or Gainesville, like Alachua. Gainesville's actually pretty nice. Yeah, are they significantly colder? Yeah, for a few weeks out of the year, but I can handle that. Yeah, and on the Gulf Coast, Port St. Joe, Apalachicola are definitely cool areas, and even Mexico Beach is a cool area, though it's really not there anymore at the moment. So, hey guys, I might get off the stream because I need to make a few phone calls, and I don't want to make you guys wait. But I might come back on for a little bit. You guys cool with that? I'm sorry, I'm getting way too many texts and stuff, and my dad needs to know where he's going, and my mom, I have to kind of coordinate with some people. I should have probably realized that was coming, so I don't have to end it. All right, Chris, and whoever else is watching, maybe I'll be back on later. Maybe it'll be more exciting. So until then, thanks for watching, guys.